Stuart, it's 25th edition. Must be really happy with how it went, but how do you kind of look forward now for the next 25 years?
Look, I think we should just focus on what we've just seen. It's been an absolutely amazing edition. I'm really proud of what I've seen and the racing that I've seen. I think at the end of the day, it's a bike race. We want to see a fantastic cycling event, and across the women's and the men's, it's been really great racing, aggressive racing. We've added a bunch of firsts to this event. The women's one day at Schwalbe Classic, back into the city for this final, I guess, celebration, acknowledgement to the history, and some new start and finish locations, which is always good. But look, just having a quick chat to the guys then. Michael Kwiatkowski just said, "Why didn't I come here 10 years ago?" A lot of the feedback's been, positive. So as an organiser, firstly I've got to thank my team. They're doing all the hard work behind the scenes. It's a massive beast of an event, this. Won the nation's best sporting event, not because of the race director, but because of the team around me. So, really proud and privileged to be a part of this legacy.
How pleased were you with yesterday? Romo, no one's tried to win it by going from the bottom before.
Yeah.
And the Plap, and then Vez. It was one of the all-time great Wollonga stages, wasn't it?
Absolutely. And I mean, I think it's always a bit of a, we've had the Richie Port era.
Yeah.
We've had the Simon Gerrans domination. But this year felt like a real international Santos Tour Down Under. We've had, the Aussies have been challenged across the women's and the men's, which means the quality of the field, the level of racing and rider is better. But yeah, seeing, Jonathan Navarro is absolutely international superstar, so to have him up there, it's fantastic from the event side of thing. And I guess it just goes to show how, I guess, the guys and girls are really coming here focused on trying to win stages, get those incredibly important UCI World Tour points, which, we're coming up to the final year of a 3-year elevation relegation system. So every point this year is going to be a gold bar.
Speaking of 3 years, you get Santos on board for another 3 years. You get the Premier speaking of 25 years. How important is that for the race organisation to get these big local endorsements of what you're doing going forward?
I think that's just a really big acknowledgement, confirmation that we're doing something right. We're delivering something of a quality level. I think the crowds, what I've seen in the car, is that the crowds are back to pre-COVID numbers, which is really important. The international exposure has just been incredible. Last year already, especially with the women's race, the numbers were through the roof, and I think a lot of these guys are going and girls are going back to Europe, saying how good the Santos Tour Down Under is. And it's not just the bike race. Every cycling race has a great course, but our surprise and delights, our little 1%ers of what we do behind the scenes, the quality that we all push for. It's almost a striving for perfection. The way we approach it from the airport pickup right through to the last moment we say goodbye to them.
Laura. So this was billed as the hardest edition yet, and it still came down to the bonus sprints. Are you satisfied with that, and what does the race do next year to maybe change that?
I think the Tour Down Under has always been kind of fought out that way. It's a fine balance. It's January. We can't expect guys to be at Tour de France level, so it is a fine balancing act. We want the stages to be challenging, to be exciting, but then a little heat reminder today that 37 degrees. If you start getting longer and longer and longer, we're kind of going to potentially lose that balance. So every year it's one of the hardest parts of the job is designing a different but exciting race. And yeah, like I said, speaking to all the guys and girls that I have, they're pretty happy. I mean, I didn't see too many riders crossing the line looking fresh, which is a sign that we've kind of got that balance right, I think.
What's the key for, I guess, from your perspective, getting that really big name that, obviously you crave and, to get that kind of cut through with the more mainstream sports audiences in Australia?
Look, I'm pretty happy, to be honest. I think we've had a Tour de France winner here at least every year I've been, at the helm. And look, we're always pushing to have more quality, and that's just not as an event, but riders. But again, it's a balance. It's a communication. It's a relationship with those teams and riders. You know, when we look at the amount that they're racing, you know, it's in the data, they're racing a lot less. Training camps are a lot more, the altitude training's a lot higher. So, you know, we're super proud of what we deliver when we deliver it. Being that first UCI World Tour races is extremely important for the investment that we put into the event. And yeah, I'm more than happy with the quality of field.
Roger, last question.
Chloe and Jonathan have both spoken glowingly of what this does looking ahead to the season, and we both know what they will want to be doing. How much will we be cheering on those two big names to have massive years? So you can say it started in Adelaide.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot does start in Adelaide.
Yeah.
You know, when we look back to Pogacar's first ever World Tour race, you know, Contador's kind of rebirth. You know, a lot of those big names, they all have to start somewhere. And you know, that January time slot, we get a first look at the World Tour teams and Women's World Tour teams. It's the flash new bikes, the nice new jerseys. All that's, you know, that's part of the build up, and I guess the you know, the excitement which we get each January. So look, having big names, Chloe's an absolute international superstar, and to see those riders winning on our roads, I guess as an organiser, that's my dream come true.
Thanks, Stuart.